Hey guys, welcome back to Fire Team Base, and thanks for joining us for our Week 8 NFL Pick'em. Just a quick roundup from last week. We had BEEZ come in with a solid 11-4 rating on his picks last week. Reap finished 9-6, and our guest Hodgepodge finished 9-6 as well. So, with that, moving into this week, our guest is Packstraw Cab. Pax,
What's
welcome
going
to the
on,
show.
guys? Thank you.
What
Thank
up,
you.
bud?
Let me just
How's it
say, you
going?
got pretty high bar to keep up with. Do you think you're going to do well this week?
I feel confident.
All right. Well, I'm looking to get out in front of BEEZ again, reestablish myself as the NFL expert over here. So with that, I think, BEEZ, if you're ready, we'll get started.
All right, what's the first game we got coming up?
First game, we have Dolphins at Ravens.
Dolphins at Ravens. All right. Your gut kind of tells you to take the Dolphins here because they're on a little bit of a streak, but I think that streak's going to end. The Ravens need to pick it up. I'm going to take the Ravens here 23-19 on some field goal kicking by Justin Tucker.
I'm going to go the other way. I think the Dolphins win this one, and I think addition by subtraction, them losing Jay Cutler, I think Matt Moore is going to have what it's going to take to beat the Ravens. I don't think the Ravens will be able to do much on offense against the Fish. So I'm going to take Dolphins 19, Ravens 13.
I'm going with BEEZ on this one. I'm taking Baltimore, bouncing back from the loss in Minnesota. I think Miami's too immature of a team to come back from that emotional division win on a short week. I got Baltimore 24, Miami 13.
And the fact that they got blitzed in Minnesota, you got to think they're a little pissed off after that.
All right, moving on to game 2, Vikings at Browns.
I got the Vikings over the Browns 29-19 on some Case Keenum, 3 touchdowns, something like that.
For me, I think this one's a layup. I'm going to go Vikings 34, Browns 6. I don't think any quarterback on the Browns is going to be able to do much against this Minnesota defense, and I think the Vikings will be able to pass the ball. Look for a healthier Stephon Diggs to come out and light the world back on fire.
I'm with Reeps on this one. I got Minnesota blowing out Cleveland 31-6. Cleveland just looks lost. They got nowhere to go and quickly. Minnesota's going to stay on top of that division. I agree Diggs will have a good game. Look for him in PPR fantasy.
Game 3, Raiders at Bills.
Oh, well, that was my biggest surprise of the week last week, seeing the Raiders beat the Chiefs. And, Derek Carr is looking pretty good, so I'm going to have to take them 34-23.
And I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go Bills 24-16. I think the Bills defense is legit, and I think they'll be able to do just enough against a weak Oakland defense to be able to come away with another surprise victory when no one picked them.
Staying with Reeps with this one. I got Buffalo 30, Oakland 23. With Marshawn out, I don't see Oakland having much of a run game to establish getting out ahead in the game. I do think Buffalo has enough firepower with Shady McCoy to come and run all over that Oakland secondary.
Game 4, Colts at Bengals.
Man, this is one that's going to be a little tough to call. If things go the way they should, the Bengals should win this game. I have them winning 24-19 on a pair of A.J. Green touchdowns and Andy Dalton turning it around a little bit.
We're totally on the same page for this one. I think the Bengals are going to be upset about that loss to Pittsburgh last week. I think A.J. Green's 5 fantasy points from last week are going to be an aberration, and he's going to come out and light the world on fire. I think Bengals win 27-20.
We're going 3 across the board on this one. As I too got the Bengals beating the Colts. I got Andy Dalton to A.J. Green all day for 4 touchdowns, 28 points to the Colts 17. I think Jacoby Brissett's a good fit there. They just have no defense.
All right, in Game 5, we have a good matchup between the Patriots and Chargers, with the Patriots at home in Foxborough.
I got the I'm just playing. I ain't freaking going against the Patriots on this one, man. They proved me wrong big time last week. I didn't think the Falcons were going to come out and, take it up the you-know-what like they did. But, man, I'm going the Patriots here, and I'm going the Patriots here big, 37-24. And the game will not be as close as that score reflects. The Chargers will get a score or two late in the game when it doesn't matter, just for some fantasy points.
The sun rises in the east, and you bet on the Patriots when they're at home. Two sure things. I'm going to take Patriots 34-21 over the Chargers. Watch for Tom Brady and company to keep rolling. I think the Chargers are bouncing back, but I don't think they're going to have enough firepower to beat the Pats on the road.
Yeah, we're all in the same area with that. I got the Patriots rolling all over the Chargers, 33-20. It's in Foxborough, the GOAT's home. Doesn't happen very often that he takes a loss there. Phillip Rivers never beat Tom Brady. Look for Patriots defense to get 3 turnovers.
Damn. See that? I see that.
And for our Game 6 matchup, we have Bears at Saints.
I gotta keep riding the Mitch train, right? I mean, he's 1-1. It's a big game. This could get the Bears up to 500 in that weak ass division. I'm gonna go Bears 24-21 here on Trubisky starting to contribute to the offense here with the passing game.
I agree. I think the Bears' strong defense is going to show up again. I think they're going to hold Drew Brees and company to 17, and they're going to do just enough with their ground game to put up 19 points and come away with the win.
I think this is going to be one that we steal from you guys. Got the Saints going 34. Just too much run game against the Bears there. I think they had a good game last week, but I think the Saints at home is a whole different team. Not to mention the Saints defense is very sneaky good. Mitch Trubisky seems to be a good fit. The Bears got good pieces. There's just not enough there.
Speaking of bad games, we have Game 7, Falcons at Jets.
Really don't have too much to say about this one. It should be self-explanatory. I'll take the Falcons 36-25 over the Jets.
I'm also going to take the Falcons. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than everyone expects. I think the Jets are better than they should be, at least if you look at them on paper. I think the Falcons win 31-28 in what winds up being a closer game than will be comfortable for them.
I got the Falcons winning. The Jets have some good pieces. The quarterback's playing well there. Atlanta's just got to bounce back. I don't see the Jets having enough defense to stop them, but I do think it's a close game. Atlanta 24, New York 17.
Game 8, 49ers at Eagles.
Ugh. Best team, best record in the NFL. I shouldn't say best team, but best record in the NFL versus one of two teams that are left with no wins. Trap game a little bit if you ask me, because the Eagles are playing at home, but they're going up against a team that, they know they should beat. I'm going to go Eagles 18-7 on a hard-fought defensive game.
Having watched the Cowboys play the 49ers last week, I don't think there's any way you could pick the 49ers. They look totally defeated, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. I think Eagles win 38-21.
Yeah, I got Philly rolling. Wentz is legit. San Francisco seems to be in shambles. They got no quarterback play, no run game. I don't know what they're doing there. Philly 35, San Francisco a measly 13.
Dude, their freaking quarterback's name is Beat Hard. I mean, that just goes to, that kind of just goes to freaking show you right there. I mean, I've never heard of this guy. All that I know is they get beat hard, and they got beat hard.
At this point, they're just trying to get that first overall pick and maybe draft somebody that's worth having. All right, moving on. We've got game number 9, Panthers at Buccaneers.
Oof, this is a tough one to call. I got to take the Bucs here, 26-23. I think Jameis will outduel Cam in this one, and both defenses, they are sneaky good, but it's going to be the quarterbacks that are going to make the difference in this one. But yeah, I got the Bucs 26-23.
I agree it'll be close, but I think it's going the other way. I got Panthers winning 17-16 over the Buccaneers. I think this one turns into a little bit more of a defensive struggle since the Panthers have had trouble on offense. And the Buccaneers have had will have trouble against this Panthers defense, I believe. I think that the ultimate factor will be the Buccaneers defense not being quite as strong as advertised. I think Panthers win, again, 17-16.
I see a 1-point differential, but I got the Bucs scoring 23 and the Panthers scoring 22. I see a fourth quarter game-winning drive by Jameis. I think Cam can get him there, but has a turnover late in the fourth quarter, maybe on a 2-point conversion to win the game. Should be a good game to watch.
Moving forward, game 10, we have Texans at Seahawks.
Oh boy, there wasn't a greater test for Deshaun Watson. This is going to be it right here, man. He's the #1 fantasy quarterback, arguably a top 5 quarterback in the league as a rookie. I'm going to take the Texans here. You know, my gut's telling me to take this kid. I'm going to go 31-21 against the Seahawks offense that cannot move the ball, at least until, late in the game, but I think it's going to be too late for them in this game.
As hard as it is for me to pick the Seahawks to lose at home, I'm going to take Texans 26-12 over the Seahawks. I think, again, like you said, the Seahawks defense is good, but will get tired over time from their offense having kept them out on the field for most of the game. I think this will be a good proving game for Deshaun Watson, which, as a Titans fan, burns me to say, but hopefully he will prove to us that he is also, a high-caliber quarterback moving forward.
I hope this is another game that we steal as the guests from you guys. I got Seattle winning by 3 in overtime. I think Deshaun's going to jump the Texans out way ahead against Seattle and kind of scare everyone. However, I think with the depleted Houston defense, Russell Wilson will orchestrate a comeback, and that defense will get a fumble or a tip pass interception to set up that field goal in overtime.
Right.
All right. Game 11, Cowboys at Redskins.
Well, you would think the Redskins will put up a big fight in this game. I kind of expect them to, but not close enough. I'm going to go the Cowboys 28-14 in DC.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to take Redskins 23-20. I think they're a more complete team than Dallas, especially with Dallas's defense being as soft as it is. I think just them being better all around will show in this game, and it'll still be close, but I think they'll edge them out right there at the end.
I'm going to go with BEEZ here. I got Dallas hanging on in the second half with that defense that is a little bit suspect. Kirk Cousins does bounce back. He's got 2 touchdowns to his newfound wide receiver, Josh Doxson, who should be a sleeper pick in fantasy PPR this week. I think Washington's got a good squad, but I think Dallas does enough with Zeke one more week to get him out ahead enough.
Hey, let me just say one thing. If the Redskins beat the Cowboys, this division is pretty much all sewn up for the Eagles.
I definitely agree with that. Moving into Sunday night, we have Steelers at Lions.
Oof, this is going to be a big one, man. Stafford likes to throw a lot, but the Steelers have a great pass defense. They're going to have to run the ball if they're going to beat them here. But I think they can hold on to that trio for one more week. I'm going to take the Steelers 24-21 over the Lions.
I'm also going Steelers. I think their defense has awakened over the past game or two and are really starting to come into their own. I think them having enough offensive firepower will be enough for them to put the Lions out on the road. Steelers 27, Lions 20.
I think this is going to be a pick that we go back to in a few weeks down the road here, and we go, that guy got it. I think Detroit rolls all over Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's not a legitimate threat. I think Matthew Stafford is going to have a great day to Marvin Jones, possibly 3 touchdowns. I got Detroit 31-10. Pittsburgh doesn't travel well. Big Ben, he just doesn't seem to be with it anymore.
And for our 13th matchup, for the 1,000th time apparently on Monday night, we have the Chiefs versus Broncos, with the Chiefs at home in Arrowhead.
Man, this is probably the toughest game for me to call out of the rest. But I'm going to pick the Chiefs again and hopefully they can win this time. I'm going to go 19-10 against the Denver Broncos. They're at home. They got to win this game to stay atop that division. And yeah, man, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the Chiefs 19-10.
I think if the Broncos get back down to basics where they're going to run the ball with C.J. Anderson and play good defense like they have in the games that they've won this year, I would pick them, but I don't believe that's going to happen. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one in what turns out to be a shootout, 30-24.
I think the Chiefs have too much firepower, and they're clicking too well right now for the Broncos to be able to stop them. I got the Chiefs scoring 29. Tyreek Hill having a big day, of course, always a fantasy monster. The Broncos will get back to C.J. Anderson. I think he'll have a good 100-yard combined total yards day, but Broncos will only score 16 and come up 2 scores short.
All right, guys, that concludes our NFL Pick-Ums for Week 8. We'd like to thank Pack Straw Cab for stopping by. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, no problem. Glad to be a part of the show. Sorry that I'm about to just show you how it's done.
All right, and make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and post your scores and who you think is going to win in the comments section below.
And be sure to check the description for last week's scores, see how you did against us, and let us know in the comments how you finished.
BEEZ out, slag.
Keep reaping, guys.